Welcome, everybody, to the Stairway to Health podcast. I'm your host, Frank Pirri, and today I'd like to welcome a very special guest. I'm so grateful and honored that she chose to join us here today, Miss Aeryon Ashlie. She is the founder of Aeryon Wellness Supplements. She's a holistic nutritionist, keynote speaker, and of course, a #1 best-selling author. She's coming to us all the way live from the west coast of Canada, British Columbia. And we first met Aeryon when she started introducing a new line of supplements to support women's health. So Aeryon, tell us a little bit more about you, the person, and Aeryon, the busy healthpreneur.
Sounds amazing. First off, thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. It's great to be here with you, and also to accommodate me as well, being on the West Coast, because this is later for you. So I appreciate that too.
Yeah.
Gosh, no, I've been in the industry now going on 20 plus years. And, if I kind of back when I was, younger, way younger, I always really struggled with my body and body issue and weight. And, which led, there's a whole story behind it, but my parents put me in Weight Watchers to really help me deal with my weight issues. That then kind of trickled into an eating disorder for 25 years. And I really struggled with that. I did everything from fitness competitions, so really depriving myself, constantly trying to hit this version of what I thought was health, and to be as lean as I possibly could, because that was my marker, that was my biomarker. I think a lot of women can resonate with that. They think health is being as tiny as we possibly can. And about 10 years ago, I had my real aha moment. And I was already in supplement sales in this industry for quite some time at that time. And I had my aha moment, and my daughter almost walked in on me on a purge. And I just went like, what am I doing? I remember looking in the mirror and thinking, if I continue down this road and have a dysfunctional relationship with food and my body, this is going to be my daughter's journey as well. And so I really decided in that moment to start taking a better look at what holistic health really meant to me, right? It wasn't just the size of my pants, right? And it wasn't just working out. It really was, and I know you're going to agree with this too, this accumulation of the whole, this holistic idea. And so in that, I came up with these 5 pillars, and I use them through my coaching with women. And then it actually now is the pillars of the brand, and it is the thoughts you think, the friends you keep, daily movement, nutrition, and lastly, supplementation. And so as I began working on with cognitive behavioral therapy, with the thoughts you think, working through my eating disorder, working through my relationship with my body and food, then I started looking at my support network, really looked at the people who I had in my life and who I could rely on, and people who were living an active, healthy life. Then I looked into my relationship with movement, letting go of 2.5 hours a day of cardio and stepping into a place of gratitude for my body, and looking at working out as a way of giving thanks. Then I looked at my relationship with food, and then I began looking at supplements. And when I began to look around, at the time, there was no other 100% female-owned, female-supported supplements. And so I also at that time was packaged out from a large supplement company I was working for. And I just said, I'm going to roll the dice and take the chance and start my own brand. And that's really kind of how Aeryon Wellness was born. But the idea and the real kind of passion and mission is to not just, there is no magic pill. If I had found that, I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, right.
There's no magic pill. It really is about providing education and support to women to take the steps to create new habits in their life, to find holistic wellness. And that is where those 5 pillars come in. And how we translate that message is every single bottle has a QR code, and it has a complete program with every single product. So we're giving you these 5 pillars. We have affirmations in there and workouts, all the things that I was searching for all those years ago when I was on my journey. So that's kind of the story.
That's absolutely fantastic. I mean, how you got started in the business, and your personal. I thank you so kindly for sharing your personal history, because I think it's so important for people to understand that as much as we teach and coach and help people through their current health conditions, we were once in a position ourselves where we had to overcome some pretty giant hurdles. So and I love the idea of the 5 pillars. I think it's fantastic. We do teach a lot of our clients about, treating the body as a whole. Health and wellness, optimal health and wellness really is about looking at several different pillars within your life. I mean, we talk about the 6 pillars of nutritional supplementation. We talk about the optimal health and wellness trifecta. We talk about, personal affirmations are so very important, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But I really think you established something very special for women, especially on the support side. So I congratulate you on that. I mean, that's pretty fantastic. It sounds like an awful lot of work for you. I mean, a whole bunch of work, being a busy mother, entrepreneur, businesswoman. Staying healthy is very important. What do you do to keep yourself healthy at this point and full of the necessary energy to keep going?
I mean, the first thing is working out. That's the big thing. And lifting weights. That's a big message I send to a lot of women. Lift heavy weights, do weight bearing exercises. You know, the first thing I do in the morning is, I mean, I'm very habitual in what I do. I kind of do the same thing every single day. You know, I lay in bed before my feet hit the ground and I do my, you know, my gratitude. I do a forward thanking for like the day to, I mean, and you can say it to whoever you want. I was raised in a Christian household. So sometimes, you know, it's universal power, all that be for me, you know, so it's whatever works for you. But it really is a studying gratitude right off the bat of like, thank you for today. Thank you for the conversations I'm going to have. Bless my actions, bless my words. Like I do that. And then I go to the gym. First thing is that I get the gym out of the way because I find that's the easiest. And
Yeah.
then really, I write lists every single day. It's the only way I can keep on track of everything. And it was funny when we were just on holidays, and I kind of think everybody does this, but nobody does this. My alarms were going off when we're on holidays. And one of my girlfriends looks at the other girlfriend. She goes, oh, this is her alarm. We have to go do something, because I had an itinerary of what we're doing. And she's like, you set alarms? And then my other girlfriend said, how do you think she gets so much shit done during the day? She has alarms going off constantly, right?
Yeah, it's true.
It's constantly reminding me, oh, I got to be here. And everybody in my life who knows me is like, where are we supposed to be right now? What's happening? Why is there an alarm going off? So I think doing that keeps me healthy, because I also am able to then know I'm able to keep organized. And there's a little bit of chaos in my life, and the fact I'm kind of doing a bunch of different things, but it's organized chaos, and that in which I can thrive in that too. And making sure I get to bed at the same time every night, blackout blinds, you know, cool room, heavy blanket. So all these different things, eating good food throughout the day, really paying attention if you do have moments where, you know, you have that nasty voice that kicks in, kicking that off and being like, no, that's not the way we think. We're thinking something different. We're going to land in gratitude. That's another way too. So kind of all these different tools I have that I've used in my journey that now I use every single day.
And of course, supplementation.
Yes, and supplementation. I can't forget that. Oh yes, that.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
That thing too. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Really
no,
supplementation.
it's so funny that you mentioned about the alarms, because when I was starting out on my own journey, you know, I had my own health struggles back in the day, and, you know, 30 pounds overweight and high blood pressure at a very young age, and, you know, high risk of heart disease because of both sides of my family, both maternal and fraternal. And at that time, I had a background in nutrition at that time. I had been formally educated. So I understood the importance of nutrition timing. And while being an entrepreneur at that point in time in my life, and just the overwhelming stress, if I didn't set alarms for every time I was supposed to eat a meal, or for every time I was supposed to think about taking my supplements, and so it does boil down to discipline, really.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Right? Staying disciplined. Yeah.
Habits, and it is challenging in the beginning, I think, and I mean, and I'll be honest, I don't take a week off of working out, I just don't. But there's been points where I've had to maybe take 3 days off, right? There's something's happened, and, you know, maybe traveling, what may be, but it's hard. It is like, even for myself, I'm like the fourth day, I feel that little bit like, oh, it's so nice just lay here. So it is, you know, Mel Robbins does the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, right? The 5-second rule. And that's something I think that's a really great point of action for a lot of people when they're debating if they're going to go for a walk or eat a healthy meal. Really about looking about who you want to be, not only in your life now, but a big part of my journey right now too is, who do I want to be when I'm 70, when I'm 80, when I'm older? How do I want to feel? How do I want to be vital? I want to be healthy. And so, you know, doing all these things, and then taking good supplementation, taking care of your heart health, making sure that you're also getting your good fish oils, making sure you're taking care of your brain, like all of these things all matter. Right. And so
Yeah.
not just to look good now, because there still is a part of me that likes to look good now. I'm not going to, lie, but it's also about, where am I going to be in the next 20 years? Right.
Yeah.
And how do I have the best life possible? Because if you get to the end, or not the end, or towards the end, around your 70s, when you can finally start enjoying life and you can't walk, or, you have heart issues because you haven't taken care of your heart health. Like all of these things are all of a sudden going to pile up. All that work you've done your whole life to enjoy maybe those years are going to be, you're going to lose that. So I think it's another important thing too to look at. It's not just now, but also how do I want to be in the future?
No, it's true. We use the whole topic of building a legacy of health for
Mhm.
yourself now and
Yeah.
for the future generations that are truly following your lead. So when you mentioned earlier about that aha moment for yourself in your personal life, and how do you want your daughter to experience life moving forward, and what kind of what example do you want to set for her? So the whole idea and the whole concept of living an optimally healthy life and getting to that end point and being vital and vibrant and energetic and feeling great so you can enjoy everything life has to offer after working so hard for it all. That to me is the ultimate goal, for sure it is. And it's interesting, you touched on the importance of physical fitness and the importance of weightlifting and weight bearing exercise. I had read somewhere that you were involved on the fitness side of the industry when you first started, and I think it's so important. I mean, there's a lot of men that understand, big muscles, but a lot of women, they don't. They think of weightlifting or weight bearing exercise, and they think of, I don't want to look like, these bodybuilders or these big fitness models with lumpy, bumpy muscles, and and I don't think they understand how critically important it is for the whole healthy aging
Oh,
aspect.
God, yeah, dementia, blood sugar issues, bone density. I mean, all of it. It's one of my biggest messages. I was on a podcast yesterday, and she's a CrossFitter, and we were talking about this. And it's one of my biggest messages when I do my consumer lectures, when I'm speaking to consumers, is talking to women about protein for one thing. And especially as we get older, we're going through perimenopause and going into menopause, your body's not going to be breaking down the nutrients like as effectively as it did when you were younger, which means you need higher amounts of protein. So if anything, aim for 40 grams of protein per meal, because you're probably not going to reach it anyways. If you can, go higher. Anytime you want to snack, protein, I say to them, really look at your plate. When we were younger, it was like, carbs, and then you have your vegetables, and you have a little bit of protein. I'm like, and you had some fats in there. No, protein is your superstar. That is your rock star. Then you're going to have your vegetables as your backup singer. Then you're going to have your carbs can be, I don't know, the band, whatever. But you're going to start really figuring it out that way. It needs to be protein. It needs to be a main focus. That's going to help you create that lean muscle tissue. And then making sure you're doing weight bearing exercises. Let your legs be sore the next day. You should be a little sore. It's okay to be sore, and you're not going to get big, and you're not going to get lumpy, because if it was that easy, like honestly, it's not going to happen. And then the way you're going to change your shape, if you're really looking at actually losing, like having better shape, is lifting weight bearing exercises, right? Doing more weight, because that's going to speed up your metabolism. If you're eating that protein, it's going to turn to muscle, and you're going to change your shape. It's not cutting foods out. It's not going on detoxes. It's not, intermittent fasting might help, but it really comes down to eating properly and also lifting weights and utilizing this wonderful body that you've been graced with in this lifetime.
Yeah, for sure. It really will stop any, future degeneration. And for a lot of the diabetics, I mean, type 2 diabetes is insane. It's on the rise, and it's so much a part of what we do at Health Experts Canada. One of the best ways to help control blood sugar levels is to move, right?
Yeah.
Get your body moving, get your body into the habit of using some of that stored up sugar as an energy source, that glycogen. So yeah, I'm really, really impressed and happy that you mentioned that, especially for all the women listening out there today.
Lift your weight. Lift your weights, ladies.
Lift your weights, ladies. At Health Experts Canada, we encourage our clients to create their very own personal mantra, right? Their very own personal affirmations, something that holds a special meaning to them, that helps to keep them grounded, leads them to greater success, reaching levels of higher success in everything that they do in life. What is an original Aeryon Ashlie quote or affirmation, something that has meaning to you, and how do you apply it to your life, being a busy mother, entrepreneur, businesswoman?
Well, I don't know if it's really an affirmation, but it's go be brilliant. And I actually have it tattooed right here. It's what I used to say to my daughter when I used to drop her off at school. I'm like, go be brilliant. And I think if you can, every day when you kind of embark on your day, if you try to be brilliant to some capacity or try to be brilliant every day, then I think that's one way of kind of always trying to be your best, right? And there's the book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and he talks about that, right? If you always do your best, then you really can't, as long as you're doing your best. So go be brilliant and do your best. And if you do your best, then you can't really judge yourself because you did your best at that time, right? So
Yeah.
I think be brilliant is definitely that's my mantra, I guess.
I love that. I love that. I love the simplicity of it because it means a lot. It says a lot. It means a lot, to you. And I have a very similar type of personal affirmation. Honestly, I created mine probably, well, it was probably 30 years ago when I first created this personal mantra. And I literally start my day every single day when I open my eyes. First thing that I do is I recite this mantra in my head or out loud or to the universe. And it basically is, I am happy, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am grateful.
Love that.
And I describe wealth, and on the back of all our Health Experts Canada t-shirts and such, we use the phrase health is wealth. Mm-hmm. And that to me really is the meaning behind wealth. You cannot achieve any level of real wealth that means something without personal health. So that's my mantra, and I'll recite it in the morning in the shower. I'll recite it when I'm looking at myself shaving in the mirror. I recite it constantly. And what amazes me is how it elevates that personal vibrational frequency. It just raises that energy vibe, and that is felt, far beyond your physical self when you put it out there, right? So
like the first pillar is the thoughts you think with Aeryon Wellness. And the reason we did that was, you can take all the ashwagandha in the world, but if you are in a fear-based negative state of mind, you are still going to be stressed.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, learning how to control those thoughts, that negative narrative of, oh, I'm not going to go to the gym. I never lose weight. Well, what are you going to do then? You're not going to the gym, right? And there's even research to show that when you think negative thoughts, it actually dims your brain. When you think positive, happy, optimistic thoughts, it actually raises your serotonin. It you feel like instantly. So it's such a quick thing to do to lower your stress is to shift it, right? And Tony Robbins talks about the change of state, right? When I would have moments where I began to kind of feel triggered a bit, I would instantly put stuff down and go outside and go for a walk. I'd change my state. I'd call my mom, reach out to a friend. I'd start to do things differently in that moment, right? To change. So that's.
No, it's so true. I mean, we do a lot of research work in the area of epigenetics, and epigenetics is just basically how your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions affect how the cells in your body function, right? They're either going to be healthy or they're going to be sick.
100%.
So the power of the mindset is everything. It's so true. The Stairway to Health podcast is all about giving back, paying it forward. And we believe that as busy professional individuals, we all share similar challenges when it comes to our personal states of health. And as mentioned, our belief is that health equals wealth. Wealth as it pertains to the quality of life that we have or that we desire to have. And what situation, you mentioned a bit of the aha moment, but what situation really sparked? Was it your daughter? Was it becoming a mother? Was the desire to improve your quality of life by helping other women improve theirs? What was the trigger?
Well, we wrote the book, Bulimia to Balance. My mom wrote it with me, and it was really therapeutic for both of us to write this together. And when I wrote the book, I had so many women reaching out to me and just telling me, thank you so much. It's so good to know I'm not alone. It's nice to know somebody actually kind of made it out the other side. And I think so many women don't know what to do, a lot of them, and there's so much information, it can be overwhelming at times. And so I think that's one thing where I knew that I'd be able to kind of change the game in supplements to be able to offer that support to women. And I always really struggled, even though I've been in the industry for many, many years, I struggled with the idea of take this and everything will be better. It just never resonated with me. And so I thought, how I want to be able to make a difference and be able to support women, as I believe is the right way to do. And that really is by giving them all the tools that they can possibly use to make the changes that they need to make. And the supplementation is there to supplement, right? But you have to make the changes along the way.
Oh, for
So
sure.
that's the big thing that really kind of hit me, was I knew and most of girls my daughter's age growing up, I wanted them to really understand it's not just buy this and everything's going to be great. It's, you have to do the steps. And so with the QR codes and with educating women and going and talking to women about the things they need to do to have a better life and be more healthy and function more optimally, that was, I think that would be definitely part of it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That again, it's the backstory and the writing and putting the information out there, and just your own personal struggles too, right? And of course, seeing your daughter and knowing what you want for their future. But you have an amazing lineup of product available. And I know when we first met, there was only a select few products in the mix, and you have since expanded the line, and it includes a whole bunch of supplements for women. Now, it is, again, very important to understand that it's mindset, it's body movement, it's nutrition and food, and supplements are there merely to help support what may be missing, right? Or to help give you an edge for whatever it is you're trying to work through. But tell us a little bit about the line and a little bit about what you have to offer in the supplement line.
I'd love to do that. So we have everything from hormonal support. Reclaim is our hormonal support. 80% of women tend to be estrogen dominant. And, you can look at the creams you're using and the detergents you're using and the stress that you have in your life. So you can still address all those things in nutrition, but you still can be stressed. It can still cause an imbalance of estrogen in the system. So having something like Reclaim, which is our hormonal support product, it's my favorite child out of the bunch. I have to say, it's a one a day, which I really love. We have lion's mane in it now, and curcumin. Before, we used to have St. John's wort. I took that out. I love St. John's wort. St. John's wort's great for menopause for women who can take it, but it contraindicates with antidepressants. And I really struggle with the thought of somebody buying it and not knowing. So the new formula is the bee's knees, one a day. It's awesome. So that's Reclaim. We also have Snooze, which is our melatonin-free sleep support product. It's fantastic as well. You can take 2 at 3 in the morning. If you wake up, roll over, take 2, go back to sleep. No sleep hangover. I took some last night. I have an elderly dog kind of going through sickness right now. So I was up at 3 in the morning with her. We've also got Water Be Gone, which helps with water retention. Great when you're traveling too, to flush out that excess water. Lose It, which is our metabolism support product. And Lose It is where I really came up with those QR codes, because I really struggled with launching a metabolism support product given my background. And I remember driving across the Lionsgate Bridge and I'm like, how am I going to tell people? Because we had stuff on the website they could download, but I'm like, how am I going to tell people that they can't just take this? Like, there's so much more. And literally, I'm like, I could use QR codes, because we had just from the throes of COVID. And that's where, and then I was like, I'm going to do this on every product. So that's really kind of where that came from. And Lose It is fantastic, just even for a pre-workout. I love that one. Sleeping Beauty, it will knock you out if you're looking for something to knock you out. It's got collagen support in there too. And then we've got So Harmonious. We just launched that one. That's our PCOS, blood glucose metabolism support product. My dad also takes it. So although it's designed for women, really helps stabilize blood sugar. My dad has type 2 diabetes, so he drinks it. It's fantastic. Has hormonal balance. It's got vitamin D in there. We've got also I'm thinking here, what else we got in there? We've got myo-inositol in there. We've got so many great ingredients. The powder, it's butterscotch, love it. What else we got on I'm trying to think here. Oh, and Up and Away, we got boric acid. We actually won CHFA Launchpad for that one. We were the very first kit in North America for boric acid. So boric acid helps with bacterial vaginosis and yeast infections. And a lot of women who are going through menopause or are doing hormone replacement therapy can experience more yeast infections and bacterial vaginosis. It's just simply your pH shifting in your vaginal area. Boric acid is super acidic. Use it as a suppository. Everything, like, it takes care of it just like that. So I was really proud of launching that one. So I think that's all of them.
That's awesome.
You remind me, we have one with also too, 1200 milligrams of Bacopa and KSM 66. And that one helps with memory. And we have a menopause support product launching. And we also have a new stress support product launching as well coming up. So
I like that. It sounds like all of the products have an incredible amount of research behind them in terms of how to formulate the different herbs and ingredients together. It just goes to removing St. John's wort to make sure that it's safe enough for everybody to use without any complication. Going back to the first one, the Reclaim. Now, I love this product. Okay. I really do. We've used it with our clients, and I think it's amazing for one reason only. And some people may have heard this term, but xenoestrogen. Xenoestrogen is such a horrific type of estrogen that everybody is just being bombarded with, whether it be the air you're breathing, the stress you're feeling, the processed foods you're consuming. I mean, it's everywhere, and it impacts both men and women. So I love the fact that this is a product that helps to get rid of that and balance that out of the system.
And everybody can take it. I mean, I take one every day. I have some customers I know that right before their periods, they kind of feel a little, they'll take 2 a day. You only need 1 a day, but they'll take 2 a day leading up to it, and they don't take it for the rest of the month. That's the only time they use it, and that's fine as well. I'm in perimenopause right now. And so for me to keep my cycles regular, to not be really super moody, I always take 1 a day. And we had amazing feedback. I was in Calgary in June. Yes, June. Feels like, I'm like, where's my months? And one of my stores there, Community Naturals, lady working, came up to me and said that she had extreme cystic breasts. She had gone in for a mammogram, like they're really, really bad. And she said she was looking at Reclaim, and she realized she was buying all these ingredients separately. She started taking Reclaim. She has no cysts left in her breasts.
Wow.
I know. I was like, she was crying. I was crying. I was like, this is amazing. This is like the best day ever. And she just, and all the other staff that worked there were like, what one did that? And she's like, it's Reclaim. She goes, I will recommend that hands down all the time for cysts and breasts. So that was really great news too. So we've just had incredible reviews from that product. And it's, I believe, the most comprehensive hormonal support product on the market.
That's amazing. I love that. I mean, that in and of itself is a big reason for why we do what we do, right?
Yeah.
Just hearing that feedback and seeing that. Incredible stuff. Okay. Ultimately, as busy entrepreneurs, especially inside the health and wellness space, the holistic, healthy, healing, healthy lifestyle industries, we're constantly trying to get our messages out there to the world and to the masses. Tell us, Aeryon, where can people contact you or find you or your company online and so forth?
Yes, well, www.aeryonwellness.com. So my name is different. AERYON wellness.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Aeryon Wellness. You can follow us on Twitter at Aeryon Wellness, our Facebook page. We have a lot of events starting in the fall. I'm going to be speaking probably every other week. So I do travel quite a bit. I'm going to be in Toronto for CHFA. I'm coming back to Toronto in November. So I do a lot of consumer lectures. And you can also follow me on my personal page, which is Aeryon Bella Ashlie. So you can always find me there as well.
That's awesome. Very cool. For those people that don't know that might be listening, CHFA stands for Canadian Health Food Association. They are sort of the governing body over the natural product industry in Canada. So, Aeryon, thank you so much. I've truly enjoyed my time speaking with you today. It's been a pleasure. I thank you so much for your time and for giving back to our listeners.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was wonderful.
Oh, excellent. Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. I'm Frank Pirri, and on behalf of myself and Marilyn Mitchell, until next time, remember, health equals wealth.